Hi everyone. So we're going to work together now to look at a sample of a reading journal entry. Before I show you the sample that we're going to evaluate today, let's just quickly review the guidelines that you've been given back in the beginning. Firstly, we need to make sure that on the document, wherever you are writing your journal entry, whether you do it by hand or if you're typing it, you need to include the prompt number you are responding to. That means you're going to look at the list of prompts, which we'll show you in a brief moment, and write down the number of the prompt you're answering. You do not need to copy over the whole prompt, just state the number so the teachers know what you're responding to. Next, make sure you include a topic sentence with the title, author, and the main idea. So you're going to actually use elements of the prompt to help generate your topic sentence and include the title and the author. Once your topic sentence has been clearly stated, then you're going to write a very brief, only 1 or 2 sentences, as a short summary, just to give a brief point on what the story was about. The main section of your paragraph really needs to be your response to the journal prompt, where you're using your own thoughts, your own ideas to answer the question or to give over the information it is mentioning. So your own thoughts, of course, based on the reading, and based on the reading means you're including specific details. And further on in the year, or perhaps in a couple of weeks, we'll talk about how you use quotes effectively to provide specific details from the text. So again, those are the 5 key elements that every journal entry needs to have in it. The journal prompts are here as well. I've highlighted prompt number 6 because that's the prompt we're going to be responding to today. Prompt number 6 states, explain your feelings while reading the book and explain why you felt that way. So this is the prompt we're going to be responding to. I've chosen to use a story that we've read recently in class. If you can remember the story of the library mouse, that is the story that I'm referencing here. So here is the journal entry I've composed, and it's been color-coded. And we're going to kind of dissect this entry, and you'll see why it's been colored the way it is. Firstly, please notice that I've written my name and the prompt number. So those 2 points are taken care of. And here is the first sentence, otherwise known as the topic sentence. And here I have named the title and the author and has given you the main idea of the entry. I was so shocked while I read the fun and cute story, The Library Mouse by Daniel Kirk. Please notice that I have not just written, I was so shocked while I read The Library Mouse by Daniel Kirk. I've added some adjectives to make the topic sentence more interesting and to actually communicate a bit more to my audience about my thoughts on the story. So that first part is the topic sentence. Then I have a section that's colored green. This was an adorable story with a mouse living in a library who read books at night when all the people were gone. It was a cute but silly idea that a mouse could read and then even write. Hopefully, you're all noticing that this part sounds a lot like a summary. Very brief, 1 or 2 sentence summary describing the main points of the paragraph. Then we have a section in blue. Please notice how most of the paragraph is blue. And if you remember, what did I say most of the paragraph should be? It should be the response to the prompt. So let's read what we've written here in blue. I was especially surprised when the mouse wrote books and the children found them. Sam, the mouse, actually wrote many different genres. When he was invited to come to the library for the children to meet the author, he decided to inspire them to be the authors. It is so abnormal and strange that a little mouse who lives in a hole behind the bookshelves can accomplish such an amazing task. So here I've explained why I was so shocked. I've brought details from the story. My details include actually citing the main character's name, that was Sam. And I gave more details as to what happened, that he was invited to come to meet the author, and instead he decided to motivate the children to become their own authors. So this is the response to the prompt with details. And then finally, the last sentence. This was a surprising book, but its message about how anyone can be a writer was very clear to me. This is the closing sentence. This is the concluding sentence to our journal entry. So we'll write concluding sentence. Now, we had mentioned before that the journal entry needs to have 5 components. I only see 4, but I believe we combined 2 of them with the response to the prompt with details. Let's go back and double check we've hit all the requirements. Oh, didn't mean to do that. So, start from the top. We wrote the prompt number. Oh, yes. See, that was the first one. We didn't actually make a comment for that because that was pretty obvious. The prompt number was right here on top. Next, we included a topic sentence with a title, author, and main idea. Yes, we definitely did that. There's the title, there's the author, and I was so shocked. That was the main idea. That was how I was feeling. Wrote a short summary of the part read. That was the green. Discussed there was a mouse living in the library who read and wrote books. We respond to the journal with our own thoughts about the reading, using specific details. Again, quotes will come later. That's all the blue. And then we threw in the red concluding sentence, which really should be included even if it's not specified here as a requirement. Lastly, I want to just look at the rubric. This rubric has actually been adjusted somewhat in recent days, so it's a little bit different than it was when I first showed it to you last week. It's still out of 25 points, but we've kind of combined the grammar, spelling, punctuation, and indenting all into being here. So the actual mechanics of writing are only really worth 5 points. The journal entry is not so much a sample of your writing skills as much as we really wanted to focus on your reading skills. The first 4 components are really about what you think about what you've read. And as we've discussed before, if you're not thinking, then you're really not reading. So we have to have the summary and use of details from the reading. We did that. We used many details. Again, quotes will come later. We've proven that we understood the story. The quality of the response to the prompt, we used specific and descriptive details. We mentioned the character's name. We brought specific events from the story. Use of independent thought. I explained the way I was feeling. The way I feel is as independent as it comes. No one can tell me how I feel. That comes from within. I explained my feelings, that I was shocked, I was surprised. Where were those feeling words? Here, shocked, surprised, it's abnormal and strange. And I said that the message was clear to me. So definitely a lot of my own thinking here. That's my independent thought. Then clarity and organization of writing. That's the components of any paragraph. I have to have the topic sentence, sequence of details, and the concluding sentence. Notice to get a 4 or 5, you have to have a great topic sentence. Can't just be there. Just being there would fall into the 2 or 3 range. But if you make it really great, and I'll help you with that. We'll talk about what makes a great topic sentence and what makes just a boring, simple topic sentence. If you make it great, that's when those great points come out. And then grammar, spelling, indenting, capitalization, punctuation, those all go here. Okay, so I think we would probably get a 25 for our journal entry here. And as we continue to work on this skill, hopefully you'll be seeing 25s later on. Don't expect a perfect score now. As I mentioned to you, perfection is extremely rare. So I look forward to reading your journal entries, and I will be providing you with more support and samples to help you perfect your writing. Thank you for listening. Bye.